welcome to the Pine Cottage. My name is Nicole, and it is the last day of December. I decided to hop on here really quick to kind of give you an update on my 30-day sock challenge that I inflicted upon myself, and just to kind of show you where I'm at going into the new year. I didn't want to record really around the holidays. I just wanted to take each moment as it came and enjoy it with my family. I did enjoy watching everyone's Vlogmas videos that they posted on YouTube. And maybe someday I will do that too. I just really felt the need to take it slow and try to avoid social media as much as I could. But I did like to hop on there when I'm knitting just to see what everybody else is up to. So today I'm just going to show you what I've been doing and talk about those socks that I promised I would show you in the last video. So I got all of my Christmas presents done, completed. Everyone got one complete pair of socks except for my husband. So I feel like that's progress. I feel like that's much better than last year, and I feel like next year, potentially, everyone can get a complete pair of socks because I'm going to start probably in February, if not earlier, with my gift knitting, because I was just really inspired by a lot of you who say, no, I don't gift knit. And then you have all of December to knit on whatever you want. Like, I would love to have a pair of Christmas socks for myself, but I never have time because I'm always furiously knitting at the end of December or mid-December to get the Christmas gifts done. So I would like to plan ahead because I still do want to gift knit, and I think that the people that I do knit socks for gifts really appreciate them. So I want to continue doing that, but I just need to plan ahead a little bit sooner. So I was able in the month of November in 30 days to finish 3 pairs of socks, 3 complete pairs of socks. Now, I chose not to knit matching pairs. Like, I had several people to knit socks for. So I knit the one sock of the pair, and then I would go to the next person and do one sock, and then the next person and do one sock, just because I didn't want to get bored of knitting like the same sock again after I just finished it. That's kind of my thing when I knit socks. And that's why I guess second sock syndrome is a thing, because you just don't want to knit the same thing that you just knit again. So I kind of switched it up a little bit and knit one sock from each pair just to give myself a little bit of variety. And I ended up with 6 socks. So 3 complete pairs and then a little bit of a 7th sock. So I feel like, you know, had things not been as hectic and had it not been the holiday season, and had my children not been just returning back to school after being homeschooled, that I may have been able to get more than that done. But I will say my hands really hurt because I had no downtime. Like, I had no breaks in between days. Like, I was knitting every day on US 2 needles to finish these socks. So I feel like that's not healthy. That's not good for my hands. That's not something that I want to do all the time. So yeah, anyway, going to be starting earlier, going to do it slow and let it be enjoyable and not like I'm a one-person factory, sock factory. So I bought myself a new camera, which I'm using right now, and I obviously just got it because it's December 31st. So I had recorded on my phone some footage about the socks that I knit. So I'm going to insert that here. I may repeat stuff that I just said, so I'll try to cut it out and edit it so that you're not hearing me talk about the same thing twice. But if you do, sorry. I will meet you back here in a few. I am here to update you on what I accomplished for my self-inflicted 30-day sock challenge. So the first sock is this one here, and I've showed some pictures of these on Instagram. This yarn is, I think it's called Little Spruce. It's by Homespun House. I did 15 2x2 ribbed rows for the cuff, 60 rows for the leg, a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, 72 rows for the foot, and then I Kitchenered the toe. I am on the, or at the end of the second sock. These are going to be for my mom's birthday, and her birthday is today, so I will be gifting these to her tonight. So I'm just going to finish up the toe, and then these will be done. I also knit this pair, which is one of my favorites. I love this yarn. This yarn is by Hugh Loco, and it's called Troublemaker. I don't think it's in her shop anymore. I think it's a discontinued colorway. But all of the measurements and everything are the same. And I did most of these socks 64 stitches around, except for this one is 72 stitches around. And this yarn is Knit Pick Stroll, Stroll Tweed, and I don't remember the name of the colorway. What do you guys, anybody who's knitted with Knit Pick Stroll, what are your thoughts? Because this one is also a Knit Pick Stroll, and this one I did some ribbing, it's hard to see, for the leg. I feel like it's very soft, which is a good thing, but I'm concerned that it won't hold up as well as some of these other ones, and definitely not as well as why do I always forget what that yarn is called? Definitely not as well as a more rustic yarn, but this is so soft that I'm just concerned that it's going to get holes a lot sooner. So if you guys have any experience with Knit Pick Stroll yarn for your socks, let me know how they've held up for you. These are all going to be gifts. And so I also started one more, and this is also a homespun house, and I don't remember the name of the colorway. So the 3 official finished ones, or 4 official finished socks are these 4. And then this one has a matching second. This is the beginning of a whole new set. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that now with my schedule changing, I will be able to knit 3 pairs of socks in a 30-day time period, which, if I wanted to, which I think is nice. So it's nice to know that, because after Christmas, when I'm not gift knitting anymore, I can knit for myself, or I can get a head start on my gift knitting and not have to do it in December next year. So that's my sock story, and I am saying goodbye to December and hello to January. And since Christmas, I have just been relaxing and knitting for fun and just doing what I want to do as far as my knitting goes. I have not started my husband's second sock yet because I just needed a break. And he's so sweet, and he is not rushing me to finish it. So I started the Cozy Comfort Throw because I did participate in Knotty Pine Fiber Company's Advent Calendar this year. And oh my goodness, you guys, I know some of you that were friends on Instagram ordered the same one, and we all are just in love. So I'm not going to go through every single colorway of this thing, but I'm just going to hold up some of these minis. They are earthy, and they are warm and just scrumptious. I just am so pleased with the colors that she chose. The theme was Mountain Mood, and it is just amazing. Look at all those browns and greens and like rosy colors. It's just, I just love it. It's just awesome. These yarns, they're so beautiful. I decided that I wanted to dedicate these to their own project. In the past, when I've done advent calendars, I've just kind of put the minis in my stash and used them periodically over the course of the year for whatever I wanted. And I just feel like these need their own project. So I started the Cozy Comfort Throw by Molly Klatt of A Homespun House, and it's so wonderful. It's so fun to knit because it's just knit, 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 knit. There's no purling. I'm holding each mini with, I'm holding it double with Bear Hawthorn by Knit Picks, and it is creating this fabric that is so squishy and so just lovely. Now the pattern, like, I don't want to give away, but there are very specific instructions on how many rows to do before you switch colors. I'm not following that. I'm pretty much just knitting each skein until it runs out, and then I'm moving to the next color. I'm also not knitting it in the order of how it was opened. I'm just kind of mixing them up so that the colors will repeat throughout the blanket. So I believe that I opened them in kind of a fade order. It was browns and then like roses and then greens. So I would like to have, you know, each color spread out throughout the blanket. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. That is the only thing that I am working on right now, and I really have no plans to start anything else. I did go through, and I know I showed you like the beginnings of a couple hats that I had started. I ripped one of them out and just frogged it completely. I don't think I'm going to finish it. It was a blue hat. I gifted a hat to my sister-in-law for Christmas. So, and I really liked it. So I think I will start a new hat for me coming up maybe in January. But right now I'm just really enjoying, working on this. So I'm just going to continue doing that. And then when it strikes my fancy, I'm going to start something else. I also donated a lot of yarn and cleaned out my drawers here. My niece started crocheting, and I bought her some hooks and a little hook case for Christmas, and then I brought her up here and just said, hey, want some yarn? So I was able to clear out some more yarn to make room for things that I would knit with more often, which is fun. So I'm kind of just clearing things out and making room, and I still have all the yarns that I have plans for to knit my son a sweater, my daughter a sweater, myself another Felix. So those things will be coming up, but I'm in no hurry. I'm just enjoying this beginning of a new year and, you know, snuggling up with this blanket and just enjoying every minute of it. So I will show you a couple things that I got for Christmas. Well, I'll show you the main 100-gram skein that I got with the advent calendar from Naughty Pine, and it is called Mountain Mood to match the theme of, sorry, my hair's stuck to it, to match the theme of the whole advent calendar, and it's just beautiful. I mean, I can't wait to knit a pair of socks with this. That's the other thing, you know, as I was knitting all those socks for Christmas, is there's almost 50 grams left of each skein, not quite 50. So I feel like for the size sock that I wear, I might run out of yarn like just at the very end. But if I, like on the leg portion, if I incorporate some stripes or something with another yarn, I could get a whole other pair of socks out of all those colors. So I'm really pleased with my yarn usage, and I don't feel the need to buy any more yarn right now between, you know, what I showed you in my last stash update of all the sock yarn that I have, and then this new one, and then all the yarn that I have for sweater projects. Like, I have all the yarn that I need to continue working on some projects, and so I don't anticipate buying any more yarn anytime soon. I really want to work through what I have with some of these projects. So I'm just kind of mentally planning what the next few months are going to look like knitting wise, which brings me to the next thing. If you follow me on Instagram, I recently posted my knitting journal setup. I have been this past year pretty consistent with posting pictures on Instagram of all the projects that I'm doing, the progress, the finished objects, and that's been kind of my knitting journal. But it's all online, it's all photographs, and I just wanted, I'm a paper and ink girl, and I wanted something tangible that I can like flip through years later and not be on a screen, where I can look at the projects that I've completed. So I decided to just add an insert to my traveler's notebook, and this is generally where I keep my journal, just for my my journaling, like my personal reflection, my Bible study, that kind of thing. But I decided to add an insert for a knitting journal, which I have not kept. I have not kept in the past. So if that interests you, I can show you real quick how I'm setting it up. So I bought this insert, and this is by the Traveler's Company, and I usually buy the inserts just off of Amazon, and the paper is very sturdy and thick, and I like it, but I thought, oh, there's a good deal on this, so let's see what, what it's like. Well, I got it, and the pages are really, really thin. It's almost like Bible paper, and I'm not a fan, because you can kind of see, you can see through it. So I don't know, I feel like I should continue just using it because I don't want to be wasteful, but I won't be purchasing it again for journaling, because I do like to use different mediums. I like to use ink, I like to use markers, I'd like to use watercolor, so this paper is just not going to cut it. For now, I'm going to use it. I just don't want to waste it, but I will show you. Sorry, my stream of consciousness on here. This is my title page, and it just is a little vase that I drew with some flower stickers, and it just says Knitting Journal 2023, and that's just my cover page. And then I did a year at a glance spread that just has all the months listed, and then every time I do a new project, I'll put it under that month so that I know what projects I completed in any given month. And I just drew a little basket here with some flowers in it. So then if you see in January there, I wrote that I was doing the Cozy Comfort Throw. Technically, I have not finished the Cozy Comfort Throw, and I put it on there anyway, so hopefully by the end of January, it will be finished, which is another reason why I'm not starting anything new, because I don't want this blanket to be languishing throughout the whole year. I want to finish it and enjoy it during these cold, wintry months. So I would like to finish it in January. So for each project that I list, then I'm going to have like a project spread. So this is where I'm just going to put the pattern name and some details about it, some notes on the supplies that I used. And then on this empty page here, I'm just going to add photos that I take as I progress through the project, and then finished object photos. I do have a little printer that prints little 2x3 stickers, and so I'm just going to stick them on there and just write anything in there that I want about the project. And so each project will have a page like this in it. And so far, that's all I have. I didn't want anything too complicated, and I didn't want to be using washi tapes and papers and all of the things, because I'll never keep up with it. This is simple, it's minimal, it gets the job done, and it's still pretty, and I still can put little creative touches in there, so it's plenty for me. There are some really beautiful journals on YouTube, and you can get sucked down that rabbit hole. I know I have over the past couple days. I've been watching like some journaling videos, and some of them are amazing, but I just know that there are a lot of things that I like to do, and I will never focus on one thing like that for the whole year and stick with it. So I had to make it simple enough that I'll stick with it, and but also creative and enjoyable. So that's my knitting journal. The only other thing I wanted to show you was a gift that my husband bought me for Christmas. This is a little leather needle case, and oh, you guys, it smells so good. I love the smell of leather. So it's just a little needle case where I can keep my DPNs. I'm sure I can keep other needles in there too, but I'm just choosing to keep my US 2s in here. I have several sets in case I want several socks going at the same time. So I'm just using this as my sock needle case. I have other cases that I use for my circular needles and my crochet hooks and those kinds of things, but this is the one that I use most often because, well, lately I've been knitting mostly socks, but usually if I'm going somewhere and I'm going to take knitting with me, it's a sock project. So this is nice. It can just fit in my purse along with the sock project and I can be on my way. So I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday with your family. I hope that you are excited about the new year. I know I'm excited to see what everybody's working on, and I hope that you come back again when I show you some progress of things that I'm working on in January. I do plan to come back at the end of January just to update you with what I've worked on, and I hope you all have a happy new year.